So that, like, look, if this guy over here on the Miami team, if he was at the net, okay, and this guy returns the ball, like not a great return, this net player will be able to literally just rip it at the guy's feet on the volley, boom, and this guy's got no chance. As opposed to this guy returns, right? Even if this guy does a good poach, it'll bounce and this guy will have a chance to return the ball. Now, let's say he hits a okay serve, right? But it's not great. And the returner is able to rip it back deep to the server, back to his feet, away from the net player. Then it's this guy's responsibility to then come into net. So what you'll usually see is, depending on the execution of the return, this player should be charging into net after a good return there. Okay, so that's kind of some of the basic foundations of why the 2-back makes sense, especially at a higher level with good servers. Okay, and that's kind of relative to your level, right? If someone hits a good serve that causes you to not be able to hit good, consistent returns, that's when you can start to utilize the 2-back returning, okay, in doubles. The key is, though, make sure you don't get caught just staying back the whole rally. Notice how he's starting to come in. He's starting to come in there, okay? Even though he missed that, it's a good idea to find a forehand on second serves. If you look at the best D1 players, the top D1 players, okay, most of them on second serves are going to have a rule: I want to find my forehand. Unless they hit an amazing kick serve to my backhand where I literally have to hit a backhand, I'm going to find the forehand. I'm going to find my forehand, which in general is going to be your better shot, okay? Even if you look at some of the top guys like Novak Djokovic, it's crazy because if he gets kind of a ball like floating or whatever, he's still going to find his forehand. So if Djokovic, the guy with the best backhand in history, wants to find his forehand, that should be telling, right? That should be very telling for you that maybe I should try to incorporate that as well, even if your backhand is good, right? Find the forehand, especially on second serve returns. Okay, so we hit a solid return. They're both coming into net. And now look at this space in the court. Look at this distance. So they hit the ball out wide here. He's got to move. Now look, they spread the court. Now there's all this gap. There's all this space here in the middle. So when he hits it to the net player does a good job of taking advantage of that and putting the ball away down the middle. So see, he's here. He could go to the net player's feet. He could go back here, but what he did was he split them right between them, okay? You can incorporate that too. Look at his shoulder, elbow angle on his serve, and look at how when he's right about to push from the ground to go up on his serve and generate that force up from his legs, okay, notice how his hand and his wrist are stacked above his elbow. It's a very common checkpoint that basically every single top server will have. Good open stance there. So look, here, they can stay back, but if you see yourself doing damage to your opponent in doubles, especially them on the run where there's a lot of time, right, where you guys can kind of do something, if you're both at the baseline, someone should come in. You should try to find yourself coming into net. Because look, I mean, he hit an okay shot there, missed it a little bit long, but even if he were to make that, you want to give yourself the opportunity as the doubles player to be at the net there. So one thing they could have done is actually come into net so that in case that guy made that shot, they would be able to put it away, okay? He just happened to miss it though. I formation, serve body. Okay, that's not a bad target though, going middle there. That's just an execution error. Notice how he went middle there. Wow, that's a really good poach. So look, notice. Rips it middle, rips it low. He hits a ball that the volleyer makes contact, okay, below the net. So this is a textbook opportunity where this guy doesn't really have many options, right? Like, what is he going to do? Very difficult to hit a lob off this shot. He's probably just going to try to block it back to the baseliner to keep it away from the net player. So if you're the net player, your job is read it, anticipate it, and be ready to poach here and be aggressive. Let's see what he does. He floats it. He's already moving. He's already moving. Boom. Boom. Poaching. You got to poach more. The teams that poach the most, the teams that spend the most time up at the net, they're usually going to win. Okay? And they're usually going to have control. Whether they win or lose, they're going to be in control there. Okay? Good, coming into net here. It's a good idea. Yeah, so there, it's like, okay, if you're starting to string together a few return errors, very simple. Return middle. If you're missing these balls, rip the ball big middle, okay? Think about it. Even if your ball might be going a little bit long, a little bit out, if you generate a lot of speed, it's going to give the net player an opportunity to maybe try to put a racket on it. And maybe they make a mistake. So at least you give yourself that opportunity, okay? Not a bad decision to go cross there. That's more of an execution error. But if, let's say, like you're in this position and let's say you miss a few returns, right? Dial it back. Go big middle, okay? And keep it low on the return there. One thing to apply also on returns, okay? When you're blocking returns from really big, fast first serves, don't overdo it with the height on returns. When you're blocking the returns, blocking in the nature of it, you're going to hit it a little bit more flat. So if you aim high over the net, you're going to have a tendency to miss it long. Unless you're hitting a lot of spin, but that's going to be floating. It's going to be easy for the net player to get. So when you're blocking these returns, especially at this level, like these guys don't need to play the ball 10 feet over the net, right? These guys are good enough. They can block it. They can hit it big. I would say about lower than 4 feet max. They could literally keep the ball like in a window between like 1 feet and 3 feet over the net on these returns, blocking back deep, middle, or cross.